So what are some of the causes of fatigue? Because again, when we talk about functional medicine and we talk about applying functional principles, which is kind of like looking at the root cause, there's very often never just one single root cause of something, right? And we kind of in conventional medicine, we think of it as, here's a problem, here's a solution. But in functional medicine, things compound, right? And lead to that larger issue. So I would love for you to share what some of the causes of fatigue are that we can kind of check off on a list to see how many of those are compounding for us.
Absolutely, and you're absolutely right. There are, everybody who has fatigue has multiple causes, and everybody has different multiple causes, which is why it makes it so challenging to treat. Where somebody might take B12 and all of a sudden they feel so much better, and you take B12 and it doesn't make a difference for you. So
right, because we have different root causes. That's exactly right.
Exactly, yeah. And so what I found is that there's 10 categories of causes, and we're going to kind of dive into these a little bit more, but we can really break them apart into deficiencies and toxicities. And toxicities are things that are in your body that aren't supposed to be there. And then the toxicities, we're looking at things like heavy metals, talking about things like mercury. Over 100,000 pounds of mercury are being dumped into our oceans every single year, which comes out in all the seafood that we consume. We're talking about chemicals, over 84,000 chemicals we're exposed to on a regular basis, everything from cosmetics to plastics to herbicides and pesticides. We're talking about molds. Over half of the buildings in the United States have water damage, and most of those have mold or other organisms growing that can be a problem for folks. And then we're talking about infections. Often this can be Lyme type infections, the Lyme co-infections like Bartonella, Babesia, Borrelia, Epstein-Barr virus, a number of those. And then emotional issues, so if we've got some negative patterns on how we relate to the world, if we've been taking care of everybody else and we haven't learned how to take care of ourselves, we actually feel like it's being selfish when we take care of ourselves. That's a big problem. When we need to change these patterns, we need to change our mindset. We need to do work on those things. So those are the toxicities